If you're trying to figure out the best HVAC quotation software in 2020, this video is going to make the decision simple, because quotes, estimates, and proposals are where a lot of HVAC companies quietly lose money. We're going to compare FieldCamp, Jobber, Housecall Pro, QuoteIQ, FieldEdge, and ServiceTitan. And I'm going to look at this through the actual HVAC workflow. How fast can you build a quote? Can you price it consistently? Can the customer approve it? Does it support good, better, best options? And what happens after the quote is approved? So let's start with the basic. A decent HVAC quote tool should let you build a professional estimate. Pull from a price book, add labor and material line items, attach photos, include terms, send by text or email, collect approval, and convert the approved quote into a job or invoice. If the tool only makes a PDF and then your office has to rebuild everything manually, it's not really solving the problem. For simple quoting, Jobber is still one of the easiest options. If you're a solo HVAC operator or a small crew, Jobber lets you create quotes, send them, follow up, and turn them into work without overcomplicating the process. The higher plans add rich quote customization, optional line items, automated follow-ups, and more workflow automation. For starter HVAC quotation software, Jobber wins. Housecall Pro is stronger when the quote is part of a polished residential sales experience. You get quotes and proposal, price book, customer communication, invoices and payments, photo reports, flat rate pricing, and on the max tier, sales proposal tools and recurring service plans. If you're selling maintenance plans, replacement options, or service upgrades to homeowners, the presentation matters. For residential proposal polish, Housecall Pro wins. QuoteIQ is a specialist in this conversation. It is built around selling the job, not just managing the job. QuoteIQ gives you strong proposal tools, AI credits on every plan, estimate generator, before and after generator, autopilot, virtual call team, consumer financing, automation, and on higher tiers, InstaQuote, InstaSchedule, route optimization, pipelines, inventory, and team tools. If your biggest issue is close rate, speed to quote, and proposal presentation, QuoteIQ is very strong. For pure quote and proposal selling, QuoteIQ wins. Now let's talk about FieldEdge. Makes sense if your HVAC shop is built around QuickBooks, equipment records, flat rate pricing, service agreements, and a more classic HVAC back office. The Proposal Pro workflow is built around showing good, better, best quote options, delivering proposals digitally, and syncing quote activity back into FieldEdge. If QuickBooks and traditional HVAC workflow are your priority, FieldEdge wins the classic HVAC quotation category. ServiceTitan is the enterprise option. If you're running a large HVAC business and your quote process connects to a full price book, technician sales workflow, memberships, financing, reporting, and enterprise dispatch, ServiceTitan is built for that. It is not the cheapest way to send estimates, but if your organization is already big enough to live inside ServiceTitan, it can handle serious HVAC quoting and proposal workflows. So for enterprise HVAC quotation software, ServiceTitan win. Now, here's where FieldCamp is different. FieldCamp is strongest when the quote is not the finish line. The quote is a step in the operation. So FieldCamp lets you create, send, track, and convert estimates, but the more important part is what happens around it. The quote can use your price book, customer contacts, prior work, equipment history, photos, taxes, and templates. Then when the customer approves, it can convert to a job and an invoice without the office retyping everything. For HVAC, that matters a lot. Let's say a tech is at home for a heat pump diagnosis. The equipment record already knows the model, the warranty, the last service, and the old quote the customer rejected. The tech adds photos, builds a good, better, best option, sends it, and the customer approves the middle package. The next step should not be a sticky note to the office. It should become a scheduled job with the right tech, parts, invoice, and follow-up. For quote to operations workflow, FieldCamp wins. I want to be honest about the trade-off. If you only care about beautiful customer-facing proposals, QuoteIQ or Housecall Pro might feel stronger out of the box. If you need enterprise-grade sales and reporting, ServiceTitan is safer. If you need QuickBooks first HVAC workflow, FieldEdge deserves a look. FieldCamp is the best fit when the approved quote needs to trigger the rest of the business. Now let's talk pricing. Jobber's score starts at $49 month to month or $29 a month billed annually for one user, and quote automation improves as you move up plans. Housecall Pro starts at $59 a month billed annually or $79 month to month, with essentials at $149 annually and max at $299 annually for larger teams and more proposal tools. QuoteIQ starts at $29.99 a month for essentials, beginner is $74.99, and pro is $149.99, elite is $299.99, and max is $699.99. with AI credits and a 14-day free trial. FieldEdge is custom quote, so you need a sales call. ServiceTitan is also request pricing and should be evaluated with implementation costs, contract terms, and add-ons, not just monthly software. FieldCamp's public full suite pricing starts at Pro for $249 a month with 3 users, growth at $699 with 10 users, scale at $1499 with 20 users, and enterprise at $2,000 plus. So again, FieldCamp is not the cheapest quote-only app. It makes sense when the quote is connected to scheduling, dispatch, invoicing, workflow automation, and accounting. So here's the final verdict. If you're a small HVAC business and just need simple quotes, pick Jobber. If you want polished, homeowner-facing proposals, pick Housecall Pro. If quote presentation and closure are the main battle, pick QuoteIQ. If QuickBooks and classic HVAC workflow matter most, pick FieldEdge. If you're a large enterprise HVAC company, pick ServiceTitan. But if you want quotation software that carries the job forward, from quote to dispatch to invoice to follow-up, FieldCamp is the one I would test. For me personally, that handoff is where the money leaks. Sending the quote is easy. Turning the approved quote into a clean execution is the hard part. That's why FieldCamp wins the quote to operations category for 2026. Be safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.